Hello guys, how are you doing? Alright, WAEC is gone and I discovered some problems and which I believe many students encountered as I tried to, go through the paper, and some of the students are interrogated, and from now I'll be giving lessons on some of those problems. I will be taking them from the foundation. So I want to start today by giving you how to name organic compounds by IUPAC. How to name organic compounds by IUPAC. So I'll be giving you the rudimentary lessons. That means the foundation, the basis. Alright? Well, before we continue, you are welcome to my YouTube channel. If you have not subscribed, please do. Alright? So that we can have a wonderful time here. Okay. Today we want to see how to name organic compounds. I will take you from the foundation. There are three things you must note amongst every other. There are three major things. The first thing, you must be able to identify the roots. You must be able to identify the root. And what is the root? Root is the number of carbon atoms in the longest continuous chain. The number of carbon atoms in the longest continuous chain. What does that mean? That means from that organic compound, you must be able to identify the longest continuous chain. And if you identify them, they have their names. We have meth if it's the first one. They will have eth if it is 2 carbon atoms. If the continuous carbon chain is 3, that is prop. If it's 4, that is booth. If it's 5, that's pent. If it's 6, hes. If it's 7, hept, and so on and so forth. As you can see, that is the root. That gives you the longest continuous chain. Then the next point that you must be able to identify is the surface. In English, surface is often known as the end. Is that right? So we'll see it as the surface. The surface. What is the surface? Surface is for you to identify the principal functional group in the organic compound. Alright? The principal functional group in the organic compound. That means there's a functional group. If you have carbon to carbon single bonds, that is ane, from the word arcane. Alright? If you have carbon to carbon double bonds, that is ane, from the word arcane. Alright? If you have carbon to carbon triple bonds, that is ine, from the word alkyne. Okay? If you have carbon to OH, that is carbon to hydroxy group, that is all, from the word alkanol. Then if you have carbon to C, you have OOH, that is oic acid, from the word alkanoic. Then if you have carbon to an amine group, that is amine. Okay? Alright, having identified that, then the next thing for you to note is what we call the preface. The preface. Of course, the preface in English means the beginning. That's the first thing you have to name. Okay? The preface here is the attachment, or you can call it the substituent, that we have in an organic compound. Most organic compounds have attachment, or they may have a substituent. So able to identify the attachment or the substituent, that's for your definition for the preface. For example, you have CH3 attached to an organic hydrocarbon continuous chain, CH3, you call it methyl. Then if it is F, that is fluoro. If it is Br, that is bromo. If it is Cl, that is chloro. If it is CH2, CH3, or other way around, as the case may be, that is ethyl. Okay? Able to see these things will help you. These are the three major things that you will use to name your organic compound. I want to take it again as a summary. The sequence you need to follow. The first thing, you name the preface. The second thing, you name the root. And the last thing you name is the surface. Okay, let's go. These are some exercises. Look at this one now. We have CH3, CH2, CH2, CH3. If you want to name this now, alright, so let me try to break it down. If you want to break it down, you are going to have that the CH3, that shows that there are three hydrogen atoms attached to that carbon atoms. Then the other one is CH, which has one hydrogen atom, and of course there is presence of double bonds. Then we'll have another C, we have a H, then we'll have another CH3. So with this, you have broken it down. One thing you must understand when you are drawing of this, we call this molecular structure. When you are giving the structural formula of the compound, you must note that the carbon atoms from carbon to hydrogen or otherwise must not be more than 4, and that's what we call the tetravalency of carbon. All right. In this case now, you can see that the longest continuous chain, there's no attachment here now. There's no attachment at all, but we have a longest continuous chain as 4. And when we have 4, that is from what we have said before, 4 is what? Boot. Okay? So that means you can just write your boot first. Okay? And if you look at boots now, you see that there's a double bond attached somewhere. That means that's the what is called now the surface, which will be the in. And where is it found? It's found on carbon 2. I can start my numbering from 1, 2. It's found on carbon 2. So for me to identify this, I will say my double bond is attached on carbon 2. That way I just put 2. And because there's presence of carbon to carbon double bond, and that is my in. Alright? So the name of this compound is but2in. But2in. I don't know if you understand that. It's simple as that. Okay? So the next one I want to see is this compound here. This compound here. So the first thing, if you see a compound, just try to give it the skeletal structure. If you have the skeletal structure, it will help you to name the compound. The first one says CH3, and that means the carbon atom carries 3 hydrogen atoms. Then we'll have the CH2, which means that the carbon atom have 2 hydrogen atoms. And here you can see CH. Then there is a CH3 in parentheses. Whenever you see something in parentheses, it means an attachment to the carbon atom before it or after it, as the case may be, but mostly it's after it. All right. So that means there's CH3 here, CH3 here. Then the last CH3, you draw it out. Alright, so if you have this skeletal structure, it will help you to give the structural name, and that's the IUPAC name that you have been asked to find. Alright, and one of the rules, you have basic rules, about 7 or more, depending on what your textbook says. And one of the rules says you must start your numbering from the nearest to the attachment, nearest to the substituent. So I have to start my numbering from the right side, because if I start here, it will be longer. If I start here, it will be shorter. These are the rules that you must apply. Just go and read the rules, okay? So this is the carbon 2, and then this is 3, and this is 4. Therefore, my longest continuous chain, which is my root, is what? 4, and I have to put down 4. And when it's 4, from what we did previously, that is boots. Okay, that is boots. Then the first one is the prefix. I said you have to name the prefix first. The prefix has to do with the attachment, and the attachment is where? On carbon 2. The attachment is on carbon 2, so you have to identify that. So to identify that, you say 2 and methyl. 2 methyl. Do you see that? 2 methyl. 2 methyl. Alright, 2 methyl what? All of the carbon atoms attached to each other are all in single bonds, so that is ane. 2. So the name of this hydrocarbon is 2-methyl-butane. 2-methyl-butane. It's that simple. Okay. Alright, let's see the third one. The third one, look at the structure. Alright, all these parentheses will tell you that there are 3 different attachments. Okay, so we have this carbon atoms having 2 hydrogen. We have H here, we have H here. Then you can put the OH here. Mind you, the OH can be anywhere, it doesn't matter. Okay, you can put the OH anywhere. Then we have this CH. Then they have another OH. You can put it up, you can put it down, it doesn't matter. Wherever you put it, doesn't matter. Okay, then we have this, then we have this, then we have this. All right, that means the first carbon, or if you want to start here, the first, all of them have OH. All right, and that means there is an OH on 1, there's an OH on 2, there's an OH on 3. That means each of the carbon atoms has OH. And what is the longest continuous chain? 1, 2, 3. And when it's 3, we say it is what? Probe. When it's 3, it is probe. So you can just note that in your head. I'm trying to write it down so that you can see how the basic steps to helping you to naming them. Okay, just as simple as that. So now what's happened? On carbon 1, on carbon 2, on carbon 3, there are hydroxyl group, and all of them, the surface tells me that they are all single bonds, and of course they have all. So I can just say propan 1, 2, 3 triol. So the name of this compound, I will name it as propan 1, 2, 3 triol. Okay, propan 1, 2, 3 triol. Another person can name it as 1, 2, 3 trihydroxyl propane. All right, can also be 1, 2, 3 trihydroxypropane. That's in case such question comes out in objective and you not see one propan 1, 2, 3 triol, you begin to wonder that was not what I was taught or what I know. Is the same thing. Okay, it's in the exams, even if it's in theory, you write any of this, it should be marked correct. It's simple as that. Okay. All right, let me have this, the last exercise I have here. Look at this. This looks somehow trickish, but if you look at it, you will see that this carbon atom on a normal good day should have CH2, and this one should have CH3. Okay, but if you look at it, there's only one, there's no CH here, and you can see there's an attachment here. The attachment is to this, so that will register into your mind that there is a double bond or triple bond somewhere. So when you draw the skeletal structure, you now know is it double bond or triple bond. But if you look at it critically here, you know it is a double bond. Okay, now let's draw the structure. This is the carbon atom bearing this H3. All right, carrying the H3. Then this other one, say it has an attachment. This is the attachment here, CH3, and they did not put single or double bond. So with my little knowledge, I will know that it's double bond because this one has CH2. Because whatever I'm doing, the tetravalency of carbon must be observed. This is the carbon atom. It has 1, 2, 3, 4 bonds, and this one has 1, 2, 3, 4 bonds. If it's more than 4, then there's a problem. Okay, it must not be more than 4. Then the next thing to identify is the longest continuous chain. When you look at this, you start from where we have the principal functional group, and this is the principal functional group. So this will be 1, this will be 2, it can be 3, or 1, 2, 3. So however you count it, you see that on carbon 2 there is an attachment. So that attachment is the prefix. All right, and what is it? Methyl, and the methyl is on carbon 2. So because it's on carbon 2, my prefix will be 2-methyl. My prefix will be what? 2-methyl. All right, and my principal functional group, my continuous chain carbon atom is prop. That is prop, and the double bond is on carbon 1, so it is propane. So I can say the name of this compound is 2-methyl propane. Another person can say 2-methyl prop 1 in. It's still the same thing. You can have 2-methyl prop 1 in. It's still the same thing. This is the basic rudimentary knowledge of hydrocarbon, naming of organic hydrocarbon by IUPAC. It's as simple as this. So I want to advise, go through it, digest it. If you have any problem, go to the comment section, put your question. I'll be glad to answer you. Please subscribe if you have not subscribed. Many more will come to help you have the best of knowledge in chemistry. Chemistry is very simple. It's just your daily activities. Thank you. This is Don Consult.